In a major city, you probably don't experience the trouble of having to think about how many times you flush your toilet or removing waste from your septic tank. For millions of people in rural America, it's a struggle. But Dan Grossman shows us why they see a solution on the horizon.
Infrastructure. To many, it's a word that elicits a yawn.
That's the people that live here.
But to Chuck Pierce,
I mean, if you look at this water tower and if you've ever seen the inside of it, yeah, it needs help.
the word infrastructure elicits anxiety.
You mentioned that it's kind of you're just waiting.
Yes, every day. It can be a lot of issues. I mean, you may have a fountain just appear out of the ground because it broke.
In Hayes Center, Nebraska, population 214, life is different.
Do laundry, take a shower, water the grass. You can't do all those things right now.
Built in 1947, its water system is decaying, and it shows. Where people in most major cities might have a water pressure around 70 or 80 psi, folks here deal with an average water pressure of 34 psi. It makes even the most mundane of fixes for the town's operations manager a hassle for everyone.
When you have a break or a problem somewhere in the system, you got to shut off a massive area, if not the entire town. And that doesn't make people happy.
Across the country, these problems persist in droves. In unincorporated communities, people rely on septic tanks instead of septic systems, which are prone to backups. In some places, water sanitation is so bad, folks have to boil their water before drinking the tap.
A week ago, I went to a home where the woman couldn't use her shower because the water would back up. The water's backing up because the sewage is backing up into her home.
Catherine Coleman Flowers is the founder of the Center for Rural Enterprise and Environmental Justice, and she sees these problems almost daily.
I think it hasn't been addressed largely because it's in rural communities and most people don't have to deal with it. I think if it was in the urban centers and they had sewage coming back into their homes, we would have known about it a long time ago.
To address the issue, the Biden administration has proposed dedicating $111 billion to water infrastructure as part of the president's $2 trillion infrastructure plan. The money will go toward eliminating all remaining lead pipes and service lines, building water systems in rural America, giving grants to towns and cities, and plugging oil and gas wells that contaminate water.
This used to be a well house.
Just recently, Hayes Center was approved for its own grant of $1.6 million that will help install a brand new water system in town. Not only will it increase the water pressure from 34 to 60, which is comparable to most big cities.
These two valves over here, they're those valves that are in life that I always just hope and pray they're going to work.
It'll help Chuck rest easy. After 16 years on the job, he's willfully delaying his retirement just to see it installed.
I'm going to see it through. That's what's going to happen here, you know what I'm saying?
I can see the smile on your face. This brings you extreme joy.
It does. Extreme joy. It really does.
The fixes will allow those here to flush their toilet and do laundry at the same time. It'll also clean up the water, which has higher than normal levels of chloroform, all things Chuck has had to deal with.
When you envision what your retirement's going to be like, what retirement life's going to be like, what do you picture?
Not worrying every day that something's going to break. I mean, seriously.
And who said money can't buy happiness?
Kind of phenomenal, but I'm used to it, and most of these people are too.
I'm Dan Grossman.
All right, thank you, Dan. Well, it may surprise you to hear in Wisconsin, we have 11,525 public water systems. That's the most of any state. So to kind of get a better understanding of water quality here, DHS says about 2/3 of Wisconsinites use groundwater as their source for drinking water. As for what could be better, the DNR says nitrate is one of the top drinking water contaminants in Wisconsin. When there's too much nitrate in water, it can affect women who are pregnant, infants, and people with a chronic risk of serious disease. Pesticides are estimated to be in about 40% of private drinking water wells in Wisconsin. In total, that's about 30% of people in Wisconsin who get their water from a private well. Areas with higher agriculture generally have higher frequencies of pesticides and nitrates. Now, this does not mean most of the water in the state is unsafe. Almost 100% of public wells in Wisconsin are good. But it will be expensive to keep them that way. Wisconsin's drinking water infrastructure will require $8.6 billion in additional funding over the next 10 years. Again, the American Jobs Plan includes $111 billion of investment to ensure clean, safe drinking water is right in all communities. Now, as we mentioned, PFAS is one of the concerns the state is looking into for safe drinking water as well. They are a human-made chemical used for decades in nonstick cookware, fast food wrappers, and certain types of firefighting foams. Tonight is the 12th of 14 meetings, and the DNR is hosting to talk about PFAS cleanup in Marinette, Peshtigo, and surrounding communities. You can tune in from noon to 2 this afternoon or from 6 to 7:30 tonight. They're answering any questions or concerns you might have, and you can find that Zoom link online.